Let's clap. Jace. Andrew. Yeah.
I'm Andrew.
Hi, Fiona. You're back.
Yeah.
Well,
That's Andrew.
This is our 4th episode. We filmed the 3rd episode about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So let's set the timer for 30 minutes. Hey, Siri.
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
Can you set the timer for 30 minutes?
Okay, your timer is set for 30 minutes.
Thanks, Siri.
She was so sassy. That's what I figured.
Well, yeah, because you said yeah, and it thought it was from me, so it said, hey, Siri, yeah. Okay, well, since we didn't get to do this topic last time, I thought this would be an interesting little story topic for both of you.
Oh no.
Okay, so I don't know if you're familiar with clownfish, but clownfish...
I love clownfish.
Yeah, so when they have babies, if the female is to die, the male
Becomes
turns
female.
into a female.
Yeah.
So, going into Finding Nemo, the movie, Marlin's wife dies at the beginning of the movie.
Yes, that is true.
So,
Is
Nemo's
Marlin
dad
a transgender woman?
turned into a woman fish. And so, Nemo's dad is actually
Transgender.
female.
And that's wonderful for
I love that.
representation.
Yes. Why does no one talk
There was
about
representation
Yeah, I thought about it the
before
other day.
we knew that there was representation.
that? I love that.
That's so sweet.
But as a kid, I always wanted Marlin and Dory to get married.
See, I wanted.
And now they
could
can't.
be they could
No,
be a
they
could be
can't.
lesbian.
It's Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, she's a lesbian.
Lesbian.
It could totally work.
It's true. It's
I
true.
think we need to bring it up to, what is that, Pixar?
Pixar,
Yeah.
We
which
need
is
to
also
point it
Disney.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that'd be difficult.
Well, Disney, recently on their Disney TV channel, they had the first main character who is actually gay on the show.
Yeah, and Andy Mack.
Mhm.
That was a good show. I watched it even though
I didn't
I'm old.
watch it, but I heard
I
about
was
it.
reading articles. I was watching a video essay on YouTube about the failure of the last Star Wars movie and the
Yeah.
controversy surrounding it. And I feel like we're going to get into it.
You're touching on a topic that I wrote in my paper.
Oh, really?
Oh, I didn't know.
I
you
tend
wrote
to
about
do
it.
this a lot.
Yes.
I have found out. But the director had come out and confirmed that Finn and Poe were gay.
When did this happen?
This was happened before the movie was released, but Disney overruled because they didn't want the oversee controversy. And so the guy was talking about it in the video essay, and he was like, and so at the end of the movie, they just put 2 girls kissing as like a win for the community, which in reality, they had a good plot with characters that were thought out that could have been a much more...
Spoilers, by the way. This is big spoilers.
It's 2 people kissing at the end
It's
of the movie.
big spoilers.
I don't think 2 people kissing at the end of a movie who didn't have a backstory could be spoilers by anything.
Big spoilers.
Such a
Big
huge
spoiler.
spoiler.
But like, if they would have gone ahead and gone with the original idea, because like it's canon that they're gay, but they never took it anywhere in the story because Disney was too scared of the representation across seas.
I mean, the story was going to be completely different originally
Because
anyways.
George Lucas.
He wanted it to be around the 3 main protagonists from the originals.
Right.
He wanted it to just be a continuation of their story, and Disney was like, nah.
We're done, bro.
But I thought it was interesting because we were talking about representation in film, how and how Disney shies away from it. That they had such well thought out characters and characters that we all loved, who I think the community would have been perfectly fine with
Oh, yeah.
them being gay, and then Disney was like, nope.
Let me tell you a little bit about representation. I can't remember if we talked about this on the podcast or just personally, but I remember having this conversation with Andrew. I think you might have been there.
Andrew, how do you
But,
feel about that conversation?
I remember every moment of it.
So, last semester, I was in a video game class. I don't think we talked about this on the podcast.
Mm-mm.
If we did, it was on the 3rd episode.
Was it a video game?
It was
class?
based, yeah, it was about like just marketing games and all that kind of stuff.
I don't think I was even there for that then.
Okay, maybe it was just Andrew then. I can't remember. But I was in that class, and I was the only white male in that class. And so we were talking about representation in the game. In most games, are centered around a white male.
Yeah.
And so there was this whole video about it and like just how it's unfair. But then if you look at the people who are making video games, I think it was 90% of people who make games are white male. And so from a standpoint, which I get, and so there was this interview with a guy, and he said, so they were kind of talking about his games, like, why are all your games centered around a white male? Mm-hmm. And so his comeback to that was, I am a white male. I can't write. He said, I'm not close enough. I can't write a character who is a lesbian black woman, because if I do that and I get something wrong, the backlash from that's going to be so great, I can't come back from that.
That's true.
And so he writes what he knows, which is being a white
Man.
So in order for our representation to increase, we need to have more representation within the creative side of the industry.
Yeah,
Right.
and I agree with that.
Yeah,
and even like when I write my things, what I tend to do is I usually make the main character me, because I can write myself.
Yeah.
And other things, I just don't want to like say something wrong, and then because you can't come back from that these days.
No, you can't, because
And
people
so-
get... I understand the need for being politically correct, but I think people sometimes get...
Take it too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think of, PewDiePie a couple years ago.
Oh, PewDiePie.
The PewDiePie.
The problematic individual.
He used the N-word, and
He did.
he lost
did,
his
yeah.
he lost his YouTube channel show. Scare PewDiePie. Also, I don't condone what he did, but his YouTube TV show was pretty funny.
I never watched it.
It's actually free now, and I watched all 10 episodes, and it's pretty freaking funny.
I I don't like subscribe to channels or watch regular channels on a regular basis and whatnot, but I have a friend of mine who really likes PewDiePie, and through talking to him and whatnot, I subscribed to his channel later on, just to see what the content was about. And it's not like super interesting things for me, but I watched it, and I watched other videos about the controversy and what he did and whatnot. And then I watched a video essay about apologizing and the difference between making a public apology and actually being sorry for what you did. And the difference in it. And they used like different examples of different YouTubers who apologized.
Logan Paul.
And yeah, and one of the people that they brought up was PewDiePie, and they were like, we don't condone what he did, and he made an apology video just like everybody else, but the difference is how he proceeded afterwards, how he changed, and how he continued to stay on the right path. And I thought that was very interesting, because you can apply that kind of thought to everyday life, in the process of making an apology to someone, and actually meaning it. And I just thought it was interesting how PewDiePie keeps popping up and his mistakes keep popping up, and yet he's still so successful because not only did he see what he did wrong, but he took the correct steps to make it right again.
I feel like, going off that, Jake Paul and Logan Paul have both fallen from popularity. Like, I don't even hear their names anymore.
Occasionally it'll come up, as in like one of them beat up someone, but
Aren't they
But,
getting
like-
into like boxing now?
yeah,
They were, yeah.
it's really strange. I don't know. I never really followed them in the first place because I found them quite obnoxious.
Yeah, I didn't like them
never
either.
liked them.
I there was a period of time where I was watching Logan Paul's videos, but only because the controversy around him. No, it was Jake Paul. I watched Jake Paul.
Okay.
Because I followed the YouTube channels that talk about all the crap he was doing,
Oh yeah.
and he's a terrible person.
Oh yeah, terrible.
And
And
then-
then the fact that he was also on Disney Channel.
He was on Disney Channel?
He was fired.
He was, and it was this
What was
show.
he doing on
It was
Disney Channel?
called
Bizarre
Bizarre
Fark, and he was on the show, and he had a main character, and then they fired him because he was too rambunctious, and he was getting like big tattoos and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Crazy people.
but he had, and I watched a documentary on him too. I think it was, I can't remember who made the documentary. It wasn't Shane. It was another person who made a documentary on him. But they talked about the 10 people from Team 10, because he had the Team 10.
I totally forgot that existed.
Yeah, he was. I think there's one person left from the original Team 10. Everyone else has left and sworn off Jake. Like, they don't even talk to him anymore.
I'm not surprised. He did some really messed up stuff.
Yeah, he's a terrible person.
Yeah.
But Jake Paul, if you want to sponsor this,
Sponsors,
go for it.
You have money.
Yeah,
Yay.
we're looking for a sponsor. You want to sponsor? Go for it. Also, follow me on Byte. Jake and Alex. I'm gonna be big on Byte
cool
eventually.
If we got sponsored by like Mountain Dew.
I mean, we're drinking it right now.
Two of the three. I don't drink caffeine like ever, so I won't be partaking in the Mountain Dew.
I did have a Monster, but that was
We
confiscated.
took it away from him.
I was not allowed to drink it.
Because you have heart problems, James.
You can't.
It's not confirmed.
You said your resting heart rate
Is
was
90.
99. That is not healthy. That is an elevated heart rate, sir.
It is. It
And
is.
caffeine
Indeed.
is not going to help that.
You want to go to another topic?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
This is my favorite topic.
Oh no, I'm scared.
You shouldn't be. It's going to be fun. Okay,
Oh,
have you
God.
heard the Pixar theory?
Yes.
Yes, that all the films are connected.
Yes.
It's okay. So
It's so good.
I'm waiting for them to make. So basically, if you don't know the Pixar theory, it literally takes every single Pixar movie and it puts them in a timeline, and they're all based off each other.
There is a link to watch the video essay below. So
Please don't do that to me.
Oh, I already have it saved. You're good. I can give it to you super
I mean, I
easily.
can find it too. It's just, man, now I gotta remember that this goes. Jake, editor Jake, if you're listening, on the 4th podcast, you have to put the link down below.
I mean, and if you forget, both of us will harass you until you put it into
Just-
the bio.
If I don't put it there, just go look it up. It's Super Carlin Brothers has a good one.
yes.
And
yes.
they've got the best one, I think.
Yeah.
But then they talk about Boo, the character from Monsters Inc.
She's the witch.
She's the witch in what's
Brave.
Brave.
Spoilers, by the way.
Oh well, that's not. It's not like
No, it's
canon.
not. She's
Like,
seen
it's-
in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it, but like if you look on the witch's wall in Brave, there's a picture of Sully.
Yes.
And it's supposed to be that she's Boo. And
I love
yeah,
that.
it's a cool little theory. It's a
I
cool little
love
theory
that
that's out there.
so much.
Also, this is okay. So this is what made me mad about Frozen 2.
Oh,
Going-
here we go. We talked about
Okay.
this briefly the other night, not like filming anything.
I
And I
have
was like,
not-
why do you find this so problematic?
Well, this is a different. I don't think this is what we talked about.
I've not
fully.
seen Frozen 2.
Well,
In fact,
My soul.
I don't think I haven't seen Frozen. Period.
How?
I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've never watched the whole thing.
It's a good movie. You
Is
gotta
it?
watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of do.
But
Ooh, no,
okay,
I
so
just
let
got
me
stuck on my
so
shirt.
one of the things that when the writers wrote the first one, they made this whole other subcanon thing with, if you look at the very first movie, the two characters from Tangled are in it.
Yes.
Yeah, they're in there. And so the king and the queen were supposed to be, when they were on the boat, they were going to go to their wedding. That was where
Yeah.
they were going.
It wasn't confirmed by Disney ever. It was just a
Confirmed
theory.
by the writers. The writers confirmed that.
They did?
Yeah,
When?
and also the writers also confirmed that Tarzan is the
Yes.
son of the king and queen.
But then wait, we can't.
So it tied all three of those movies in.
And then
And then
Frozen
also,
2
if
just
they
ruined
mentioned,
that,
they
yeah.
didn't confirm this one, but someone else had the subreddit, the ship in Little Mermaid.
Little
Yes.
Mermaid is their ship.
Yeah.
Their ship.
But then they came out with the second movie,
And-
and then they just completely just wrecked it because none of those things hold up anymore. Because
I
they
didn't
weren't
think
going
about
to
that.
they weren't going to the wedding anymore. The ship is seen in Frozen 2, so it can't be Little Mermaid, and they didn't die on the island where Tarzan was born. So by making the second movie, they
But it
ruined
didn't-
the continuity with all four of those movies.
Which is kind of sad.
That
Because I
makes
like
me
the
sad.
continuity between that. I thought that
Yeah,
was really
I thought that was
nice.
cool with Tarzan being the son.
Yeah.
That makes me so sad.
Yeah, and that's what made me mad about it, is because they ruined
didn't
that.
think-
Have you
about
also
that.
read the theory that Jane is a distant relative of Belle?
I did not hear that one.
Yeah. So
I haven't heard that one
there
either.
was a theory. I was watching a video essay that Jane was a distant relative of Belle, and then that ties all 5 movies together.
Oh my goodness!
Man, we're getting into Pixar stuff.
Wow.
But back to the Pixar theory.
Oh,
There's
no.
a company called B&L,
Yes.
and they're the ones that they appear in every movie.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for them to make a movie about B&L. Because I think that would be the best movie. It's like the end game, but Pixar.
No, I want them to do something just about the Pizza Planet delivery truck. That's all I want, since it's in every single film somehow. I want a Pizza Planet movie, you guys. That make my soul so happy.
Derail for a second. I was watching, or not watching, but I was reading some posts, and I saw a post of like this person who was like, I want there to be a moment where DreamWorks is at its lowest low, and they're not putting out any good movies, and they're desperate, and so they decide to make a movie about how the kid got on the moon.
Oh, that'd be a good movie too.
That'd be so good.
And I was like, that would have all of my money.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It would be so many ideas just started popping in my head. I was like, oh my god,
And
it
all
could be
the
this or
different
that.
characters that pop up on the moon as well, they could all make cameos. That would bring in such revenue. Oh my gosh.
Oh wow, we could write it.
We could write it.
Well, let's do it.
Make it a musical.
Oh no.
Let's do it.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
The way I'm sitting right now, I know we talked about this in the last episode. I'm gonna have to go get a new screen protector. That's so annoying that I broke the unbreakable
You need to send a message to them and be like, look.
tweet at them. You know, I tweeted at Royal Caribbean and they tweeted back at me within 2 minutes.
I remember when that happened, because you wanted to figure out things to do on the ship.
Yeah, and talking about the cruise, I went on that cruise and I tweeted at Royal Caribbean because there's things to do. There's clubs for kids between the ages of 0 to 18. And then they have all the events for people who are 21 and up. I said, I'm 20 years old on a cruise, and I can't do anything. I couldn't go to.
You could go to the 21 club. You just wouldn't be able to drink. They would probably
I'm
mark
just,
you.
Also, it was just a whole. It was a different feeling because, like, I was used to going on those cruises and just making friends.
Right.
But when you're older than that, then it's different. You got to hang out with your family, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But it's just a different experience.
That's why you vacation with friends.
I've never done
I'm dying.
Don't die. You're not supposed to die. I keep telling you this.
It's on the podcast.
No, he can't. Okay, on the podcast record as well. I have told him multiple times he is not allowed to die for at least a month.
At least.
Because that's when Wedding Singer closes. Come see Wedding Singer.
Come see Wedding Singer.
Wow, we live. Well, we can't tell you where we live.
No.
Sorry.
My
address is blah 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 blah.
Social security number beep.
Oh, while we're talking about personal information, do you have like any media that you want people to follow?
Yeah. What's your social media?
Oh gosh, I'm boring. My Instagram is all I ever use.
What's your Instagram handle?
Hair_Fiona. And hair is spelled HARE like the rabbit. I am so
It'll
boring.
appear in the section below.
Please. Fine. Go follow me at Jake Alex Will on Twitter, Instagram, and now Byte. A great app. Go ahead, Jace.
And Jace Haney 1 on Instagram. And just Jace M. Haney for my photography page on Facebook.
He takes really good photos. He did headshots for me recently, and they're gorgeous. Yeah. Not me being gorgeous, like the photos themselves.
Well, that was really self-centered of you.
You were gorgeous in the photos.
I don't know how to take compliments.
What else? Okay, well, I had a question
earlier. We were
earlier.
going to have Jace guess what our Hogwarts houses are.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go for it. Because we were talking about Harry Potter in the last episode.
Yeah, we were.
Which you've never seen.
I've never seen it, but I know what my Hogwarts house
is.
is.
You.
It's going to happen.
It is.
Okay. Jake.
Yes. Hello.
You take lead. You're assertive. You like to get things done. You like to have a hand in doing things. Those are all...
I'm half and half, I'll tell you that.
Gryffindor traits. I don't think you would...
Do you want to guess sub-houses as well?
Let's do that too, because
sub-houses?
I took the test twice, and I'm pretty sure I got like a 50-50.
I would probably put you in Ravenclaw.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you if you're right or not.
Yeah, no.
You're going to guess mine first,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
then we'll tell you.
Yeah, I kind of figured that's how that would go.
Yep.
You care about people a lot. You're the mom of the group. You're always making sure people have happy faces. I don't know much about your education, other than...
Computer, shake it. Okay, there we go.
Okay, we're good. Okay.
Anyways. I that one's tricky. I want to put you in Hufflepuff or Gryffindor.
I don't think I know yours. I think you told me the other day, but I think I forgot.
We did talk about it.
I'm gonna say you're Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw.
Okay.
Jace, you want us to tell you what we are now?
Sure. I probably got it wrong. I'm not good at guessing.
You got half of mine right.
So you're Ravenclaw, Gryffindor?
No, I'm Gryffindor and Hufflepuff.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
And
You got mine pretty wrong.
Okay, so
did I get you close?
You got part of it. I mean, you got part of it, but your way to it wasn't great.
yeah.
I'm Gryffindor.
Okay.
And Ravenclaw.
Ooh.
Jace, what are you? Slytherin
Are you
and
Slytherin
Hufflepuff?
and Hufflepuff?
I am
definitely Hufflepuff is in there somewhere.
I am a Slitherpuff.
Yeah.
I'm a Slytherin Hufflepuff hat stall. So I'm exactly 50-50 on those two houses.
I think I'm pretty close 50-50.
I'm not
too.
50-50. I'm dominant Gryffindor.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I need to take the test to see if I'm like 50-50
Have you taken
for
it
sure.
on Pottermore?
Yeah, I've taken it twice.
Okay.
But the first time I took it a couple of years ago, and I got Hufflepuff, and so I was just like, I'm Hufflepuff. But then I feel like I've changed as a person a little bit, and
it
to now
again.
where I'm, and I took it like 2 months ago, where I'm Gryffindor now.
Okay.
So I just assumed I'm like 50-50 because I felt like I didn't really change my answers that much. But it's also, I could have just become more Gryffindor.
I would like to point out the fact that we haven't hung out enough for me to know the aspects of your personality.
What do you mean? You hang out with
super
Andrew
well.
all the time.
Yeah, I'm one of your best friends, bro.
Dude,
Dude, why aren't you in
Dude.
New York?
dude, me and Andrew do hang out pretty. We party, dude. It's a party when me and Andrew are in the same room.
No, it's funny.
We
though,
ate
'cause-
dog food together.
Ew, that's
You did
gross.
for a video.
Oh, I hate
He
that.
ate
for
it on a
both of
fry.
us. No, what's funny though is both Andrew and I went to school in New York.
Oh.
Because I was going to Syracuse University.
You know, I have had 3 friends named Andrew, and all 3 of them have moved north. And so, Andrew Amon was my 3rd Andrew.
Oh no!
But I'm calling
Are
him
you
right
calling
now.
him right now?
Let's see if we
I
can
hope
put him
he's
on the
not in
podcast.
class.
Let's see. Andrew, pick up. I actually have a question for him because Hey, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, hey, what's up?
You're back. You're in New York, aren't you?
Yeah,
Well, we replaced you with Fiona. Fiona's here.
Sorry, Andrew.
it's okay. I forgive you.
We love you.
Love you too.
We
Hey.
miss you.
Hi, Jace. Is that Jace?
Yeah,
It
this
is
is Jace. Hey, let me ask you a question. What Harry Potter house are you?
Gryffindor.
Are you? What's your side house? Do you have a second? You got a side one?
No, I think no.
No, you're just Gryffindor.
I don't know. That's what
House.
the
House.
quiz told me.
Ah, cool. Well, I also have one more question for you because I was thinking the other day and I said I'm not sure what Andrew's major is. So all 3 of us are going to take a guess at what your major is, and you're going to tell us which one's right.
Okay.
Jace probably knows. I feel like you know what his major is.
I'll let you guys go first.
Okay.
Andrew told me this the one time we have hung out in person, and I don't remember.
Ooh. What a good friend.
Fiona, go,
I'm so
Fiona, go ahead
sorry.
and take your guess.
I'd hope it's theater, but I feel like it's some sort of science.
Okay, I'm gonna say I know you're not majoring in theater because we've talked about that. I think you are a business major, Jace.
I'm pretty sure because we have talked about this, and I'm a terrible friend, so I might have forgotten. But I'm pretty sure it's economics.
Andrew.
Alright. Should I say which one it is?
Yeah.
Alright, so yes, I am an econ major. And then I will probably double major in performance media arts, which includes theater.
I knew you were like minoring or thinking about it. I
And then
knew you weren't like
yeah.
main theater. But so like
And then I
I'm
might minor in business. We'll see.
so I'm like halfway there. Business is an econ.
Yeah.
Or like
You were
That's
all
pretty
kind
good.
of right.
Yeah.
So we
Okay.
all had like a portion
Together,
of it correct.
we make
were,
his-
We were
yeah.
right.
Jace was the most right, though.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm here
A
too.
blue jay.
There's Blue Jay out the window.
There's a
Getting-
squirrel running straight for us.
Oh, where?
Okay, well,
I'm very ADHD. I'm so sorry.
thank you for coming on the podcast, Andrew.
Of course. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. We'll call you again for the next podcast in about 5 minutes.
There's a cardinal
Okay,
too.
I might be
Sorry.
in class then. I'm about to go into class.
Aww.
Just put your class on the phone too.
Yeah,
We'll talk to everyone.
Alright, I'll put my gymnastics class on the phone with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
that
going to
sounds good.
gymnastics?
Yeah.
That's a class?
That's so cool.
Yeah, we have so many good PE classes here.
Interesting.
Huh.
How's the snow?
It's actually not snowy right now. It just melted overnight, but I mean, like, there's
Oh, there's-
usually snow on the ground.
Molly!
Molly's chasing a squirrel outside.
Wow.
Guys, I like Doug from Up when he's like, blah, 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 squirrel!
Okay, well, we miss you, Andrew.
Miss you too.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
I
What a
love
good
him.
fellow.
He's a
great.
good man.
No, we've only hung out in person once.
At New Year's?
Yeah, it was New Year's. And I think, like, part of that night we talked about deep philosophical things, and then we fell asleep on the floor.
Dude, philosophy is my jam.
I took one psychology class, which is different, but I took one psychology
Very
class, and
different.
I hated it.
I love psychology and philosophy. Like, those, I would consider those my hobby rather than theater. Like, which is, sounds backwards. You know, people would say, you know, you want to make a career out of psychology and philosophy and then do theater on the side. And I'm like, no, I like philosophy too much to ruin it with a career.
To ruin it with a career? Ooh.
You see, with psychology, I took it as an online class.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's
And it
gross.
was so much reading.
Yeah.
And it was, but we're required in the film program to have one of those so you can get into the actor's mindset.
Ah.
And so I was required to have a psychology class, which I took it and I made it through. And now I'm just doing fun classes.
When I was taking it, I did it in person, and my professor actually had a focus. So you know, you had to take your psychology, and then you had to pick a focus in psychology, and his focus was hypnosis.
Ooh.
And I was like, every day in class, I was like, is he hypnotizing us? Are we hypnotized right now? How does this work? And I always wanted to ask him, like, will you hypnotize me just so I can
Feel it.
experience what it's like? Because that's one of those things where
House!
I've always been curious of how does it work on a psychological level, you know? Because you can be hypnotized. It's real. It's a real thing.
I get nervous watching videos of people getting hypnotized. I'm afraid I'm going to get hypnotized.
I went to a hypnosis show once.
Yeah?
One of my friends got hypnotized into believing they were a chicken that was in love with the magician. So they kept going up to the magician and pecking at them. But they're also an actor, like, that did this. So I was like, they're probably just going along with it. And afterwards, they were like, yeah, I was messing with them.
But like so there's a BuzzFeed video of someone learning how to hypnotize, and half the people are like, "Yeah, no, I was truly hypnotized," and then the other half are like, "No, man, I you didn't get me. I was just messing with you."
You physically can't be hypnotized if you don't want to be. So if you have a shred of doubt, like, I don't know how I feel about this, you won't be hypnotized. But you have to be completely willing to, like, relax and allow it to happen, and then your psyche takes over, and you can enter that trance.
So you're saying Get Out is not feasible? The movie Get Out.
Yeah, it's
I've never
it's
seen
not on
Get
a.
Out, you guys.
I've seen a 20-minute version of it because I'm a baby and I don't like horror movies.
I can't watch horror movies either. We talked about this the other night. Like, we were watching the trailers, and then a spooky one came up, and I was like, no, thank you.
They just bore me. I'm not entertained by the horror genre on film. But I love horror as, like, psychological speaking, again, because I
can't.
love psychology.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a YouTube channel called Dead Meat.
We've watched so many
And
of their videos.
I like that because he literally shows you, he tells you the plot. I've seen one scary movie in theaters. That's it. And so it opened up a whole nother just genre of things to me by taking out everything that's scary in the movie and just telling me the story of it.
Oh, maybe I need to
And
start watching them.
Yeah, and so now I know a lot of the horror movie like plots, and I actually really enjoy watching those videos because it's not scary.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of tells you how it goes. And so yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it, and go check them out. His link will not be in the description, but
Yes,
you
it
can
will.
No, don't. It's not. I'm not going to put that in there. You can just look it up on your own. He was good. It's fun. It's a fun. It's fun. Okay.
So much fun.
Okay. Well, we're getting towards the end. We have 40 seconds left of this podcast. So yeah, I know it's crazy. I got a little timer here, and Suri was on the episode earlier, saying we had 30 minutes. What should we end with? Let's end with a joke.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda who?
Baby Yoda, one for me.
I don't get it.
Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda, one for me. Baby, you're the one for me. Baby Yoda, one for me.
Okay, I get it. Okay, what? I got one.
Okay.
Why did the whale cross the ocean?
I don't know.
Why?
Why?
To get to the other tide.
Boom, boom.
Oh, okay, well, that was all our time. How do we end this?
I don't know. How do we end this?
How do we?
Well, last time we just didn't talk, so maybe this time we should do, like...
Talking, but in a different language.
Maybe... Let's use the British... Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Guten Tag.
Konnichiwa.
Guten Tag.
Bonsoir.
Taco!
Should we go get tacos?
No, that's another episode coming up.
Actually, I haven't had a taco in so long, you guys.